What you might be seeing the other person and you claim them to be successful does not mean that you cannot be successful. What you claim the other person to be much more intelligent than you does not mean that they're much more intelligent than you. Why do I speak like this? Sure, we have genetics playing a role, but intelligence is something that you can be taught to become. So a lot of people might be thinking, oh well, what can I do? I'm stuck like that. My luck is bad. I cannot be successful. I cannot achieve like the other person because look at the other guy. And they compare themselves with other people. What makes that person successful? What is success? Well, it's very, very deep and I'm obviously not going to go through all the points, but I want you to reflect whether it comes to your relationships, whether it comes to your career in terms of success. It is not a matter if the other person is much more intelligent than you. It is based, number one, and it's always going to be my number one in all aspects of life, emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is having the ability to be able to understand people's emotions and act accordingly to people's emotions. That's a part of an intelligence. It's not the IQ, it's the EQ. When we have EQ, we make better decisions. So the people that are much more successful, they have the emotional intelligence to make better decisions because they manage interpersonal relationships or their own marriages or their own partnerships. You know how people feel, or you learn how people feel, and you respond accordingly. So your ears need to be open to be listening to people in order to give them what it is that they want, and be smart about it, be intelligent about it. If you're focused on responding rather than hearing what the needs of the other person are, you're losing the game. Now, in terms of success, what sets those people apart from you? Because you're thinking that they're smarter than you. I'll tell you what, most of the successful people were average people like you are. What made them different is those people are much more curious in learning their craft or whatever they want to learn, or their business or their relationships. They have a curiosity for learning. What is that thing? What is my occupation? What can I learn more on that aspect that I'm working for? See, those people have the little worm of having curiosity. What else do they have? They have a desire. They have a passion for that. They expand their knowledge on different things pertaining to that specific subject that they want to get involved with. And these people use critical thinking skills. Think about it. They are people that like to solve problems. They do not create problems. They're finding ways to solve the problems at their work. And it's not just having, let's say, getting the knowledge about a certain thing, is having the tools to be able to apply it where it needs to be applied. It is all about analyzing what the situation is and thinking critically, being open to networking and listening how other people did certain things, learning from other people that already achieved the stuff. Listen to that. What did the competitors do? What do people with amazing relationship do differently to solve the issues at hand? So we can say that these successful people are very creative. Why do we say that they're creative? Because they have the ability to be thinking outside of the box. They do not remain in a little box, caged up. They are people that can innovate. They're thinking about what to do next. They're talking with people to form ideas. What are we missing? What are we lacking? What can we do better? How can we approach this? How can I fix the relationship? What's lacking in my relationship? Do you know what I'm talking about? These people are adapting to the situations. So in life, you need to be adapting in what life throws to you. So that means you have to be adjusting your thinking, allowing the different perspectives to be happening in your environment, and coming up with strategies, and that's going to give you those new information that you need in order to be able to change the situation. And success requires a person to be humble. You've got to be listening with humility when people are in your lives and they're trying to assist you. You've got to be open to people's feedback, because most of the times people are giving you valuable information, but because of your ego, you do not want to listen. The components of a smart person allows to be getting data when people speak, even though if it triggers them, even if it goes against them. Why? Because when you're smart, and the smart and successful people know that they do not know everything. Most of the smart people out there assign knowledgeable people to do the job because they do not know everything. They take people that are specialized in that. If you want to get good at something, you've got to become specialized. You've got to see what is there in your competition. If you're procrastinating, and if you're thinking that you're just going along and getting your money, or just having average relationships and not putting in the work and not seeing the competition out there, and this applies to relationships too, because you might be married. Do not think that there might not be a competition for somebody to take your person. There is always someone that is better than you, because they're keeping up with life, and there's people out there that are much better than you are. So the key to success and to relationships is to be able to keep up in your betterment as a person. Because the person that knows much more things than you do, they are much more successful. And not because they have this genius, smart thing within their brains. No. But they're constantly becoming better. They're constantly reading. They're constantly researching. They're not sitting there doing nothing. They're not just sitting there not putting goals in what they want to achieve. They're taking action in doing stuff. They are learning from other people. They're receiving the feedback of other people. In a job setting environment, they listen to what is happening. They're not trying to compete with their teammates, with their partners. They're not fighting who is going to talk and who's not going to talk. They're not disagreeing all the time. They're trying to find a solution. How can we make our lives better? These people learn to communicate effectively. They listen to stuff, and it is all about how you can articulate your own thoughts and your own ideas, and to make that effectively, and having the ability to listen to other people, like I said before, and having the ability to understand. If you're in a profession or a relationship, you guys need to learn, educate yourself what could be made better where you are today, because there's always going to be someone out there that is better than you. So you have to keep up. You've got to keep up. Time and time again, we see people opening up businesses. Perhaps in the first year, they're successful, second year, third year, fourth, and then they go down. Why? Because they take it for granted that everything is going to be so beautiful. No, you need to be keeping up with the competition. And how do you keep up with the competition? You become the best that you can be in your field. Or if it's in a relationship, you become the best partner that you can be. Because if you do not become the best, there's going to be another person that is going to claim your spot. This is life. And a lot of people learn the hard way. You've got to be able to invest in yourself. You need to put money in yourself, whether that be in personal development, in mentorship, anything. People that know something more than you do, you should listen to these people. These are successful people. In our dancing community, let me give an example. There's there's so many people out there teaching in our community, and there's lacks in the community, and a lot of these people do not have the business creativity and the ideas to make the community successful. Why? Because they do not want to be the best of the best. They just want to be average. They just want to be getting a student this day, the next day. They're not investing, for example, say you have some of your students that they could be stars in your school. They give you the tools already, but you're not listening. Perhaps you have people in your school that are amazing dancers, that you can invest in them. These people might be staying in your school. By investing in your students that are good, that you know that they're going to bring an output, it's much more successful for you to keep that student that is interested and invested, that has a passion for dancing, rather than bring in random students that you might be getting 40 students to sign up for your courses, and then when they get married, whatever happens, blah, 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 they disappear. Your student that loved dancing, that's been there for 1,000 years, you just lost that student. You're not motivated for that student. You're thinking that your education and your dancing skills, if you're not keeping up with becoming the best of the best that you can be in your dancing, by watching other successful dancing teachers and getting educated by them, for example, continuing to go to other dancers, other teachers' classes, right? How is that going to be a success if you're learning what you're just learning by yourself, or if you're not doing anything? Then there comes a point that another teacher is going to come, and what's going to happen? They are going to take your students because they're better. Obviously, they're much more putting in the work. They're invested much more than you did. You are staying stagnant. You are staying in the routine. You are not predicting the future. You're sitting back and you're relaxed. No. You cannot be staying relaxed. You always need to be learning. You always need to be adapting, because competition is going to come in and take everything from you. Because you can't just take things for granted. No. We need to appreciate certain things. And a lot of lessons come into a lot of people with businesses to make them understand which ways are they lacking and what can they do to make things better. I see this time and time again in all sorts of businesses. Guys, you've got to try to become the best that you can become. Any field that you're in. It's not the other person that is smarter. The other person took the time to invest in themselves and to have that knowledge, and they're constantly doing stuff towards that goal. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful. You're not going to be smart. It just means that you just sat there doing nothing about it and maybe complaining, oh, I don't like where I am right now. I'm not making enough money. The same people that have not put in dosh money to go get educated even more are the same people complaining. Well, guys, you need to invest in yourselves. You need to invest in your businesses. And it's not, I'll wait until somebody comes in, like, for example, with schools, right? I'm going to wait until the students come in and then I'm going to go invest. No, because you're losing customers. You're losing customers. They're looking at you the way that you're dancing, and people are not inspired. Why would they be? Why would they want to come to you? They want to go to someone that's even better. They might come there for a while. You might convince them. They might be a beginner and they don't know how to dance very well. They might come to you. But then after, when they start seeing that, oh, look, there's more out there. I can learn more out there. There's much more for me out there. They're not going to stick around. Why? Because perhaps you didn't put the time to invest in that person. That's the way it goes. People always want to get better. They're not going to stick in situations with the same routines. People get bored. People want evolution. That's life. And life is always going to be doing this thing. Whether that be in your jobs, in your relationships, in your partnerships, anything it may be. People are evolving. They want more and more and more. Some people do not understand this. But the people that do are ahead of the game. And there are the people that can reach success. The rest can just keep on being dissatisfied and blaming the external environment or becoming victims. It's simple. What you work with and with whom you work with and what you do with yourself and others is going to lead you to your success. And the same with relationships. If your relationship is unhappy, blame yourself for not finding the solution to make things work. Blame yourself for allowing certain things to happen because that's where you want to stay. You want to be in your comfort zone. The same with businesses. Blame yourself with where you are because you haven't put in enough work and you need to continue to be putting work, right? Personal development never ends. Up, up, up. Find people that inspire you and follow those people. Do not get advice from people that are not successful, right? Because you're just going to remain just like they are. Find people that they can help you go to the next level and forget about competition, all right? The only person you should be competing with is yourself. But when you see another person, get inspired to get all the data and the knowledge that the other person has, but not to compete because you're feeling lacked, but because you have a motivator right now to accomplish what they have accomplished too. And I am inspired by that person. I want to become that person. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Where are you lacking? What's been happening? Let me know your thoughts.